Let me ask you, the law that we saw in for a while, we didn't see you play much of Osun politics from the time you left Senate at about 2003, thereabout, until now that you're coming out to become governor. Do you think your party still has that hold in that region, knowing full well that that particular region has been taken by the opposition party in Nigeria, the APC? Most of the states are being controlled by the APC. You know,
what happened in Southwest, particularly in Ekiti and Osun, APC came to government through the courts, I'm sure you know. And particular reference to Osun State. If you go and look at the judgment, the votes that brought APC in 2007, so to say, is 190,000 votes. According to the judgment being read out, they severed out 10 local governments just to get HPC at all costs, which all of you read the story. Also, voters, about 1.4 million voters registered. That means less than 12% of Osun indigenes voted for Aregbesola. And in a regular society, they need to call a referendum of the qualification of governance, because that is unqualified. That's number one. Number two, while I was in Senate, because I am in my constituency, we have elections. We had about 4 local government elections in the state. I participated fully. We had the state assembly elections, and of course we had government elections twice. So I was involved with all the campaign as well. So I never left my people at any time, because I'm a free-born citizen of Osun State. I have an uncommon pedigree in my state. So the feeling that
you
have standing modest at all.
With the feeling that your party had lost grip of the southwestern region
through the courts.
Okay,
this is the first test of election for PC. The first test was in Ekiti. They lost the election. So this is the second test for them, which they will lose as well.
Interesting. In Ekiti, your very good friend, Mr. Iyola won that election. How did you feel? How did you receive the news? I know you visited at some point. You were with him at some point.
I was in campaign, of course.
How did you feel about that particular election?
You know, I said it many times before now that elections are not lost in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even 2 months. Elections are lost 1 or 2 years before. APC has lost Ekiti and Osun a year ago. Manifestation of the losses of their time, you are seeing. It has been lost among the people. But because of the media propaganda, the hype of APC all over the place, they've confused the Nigerian public. Not Osun and Ekiti people, maybe the Lagos crowd or the elites who read the papers. There's a disconnection between the APC government led in Ekiti, and of Osun State, and the people of the state. Because there's a major capital flight of the money funds of Osun and Ekiti to Lagos State, to their paymasters here. So basically, they lost elections about a year ago. We are aware they lost elections a year ago. And I'm telling you today that APC has lost Osun State a year ago. All they are doing is just damage control, which is not even enough. So the news came to us. Well, we thank God for the victory. But basically, we are sure they were going to win.
So basically, you think that the only challenger for you in this particular election is incumbent governor? You don't see any other candidate in the race as a challenge for you in the race?
There are candidates now.
There are about 20 of you.
All of them will go and poll.
Without sounding, tell us, you're a politician.
But basically, even that Aregbe is incumbent government, is an incumbent governor, and I don't think incumbent government today, it would not be a challenge for me at any time. But because today they are the one driving the seat of the state, no matter how you look at it.
You don't believe Aregbesola is a grassroots person?
From where to where? From Alimosho to Osun State? It's not the same thing. I went to St. John's Grammar School. I went to Epe Paul in Ife. Aregbesola is a stranger in Osun politics.
What do you mean by that?
He's not known to us. He came from Alimosho to Osun State through the courts, basically. Osun has history. We have customs, and we have colleagues and families and friends. So we don't believe in the importation of candidature, because we have the pedigree, we have the qualifications, we We have the spirit and the courage of politicians. That is the albatross of APC in Osun State now. Bringing a known person to a host on the people of Osun State through particular courts headed by Judge Salami of Court of Appeal before. So Osun State people were total rejection of a DO. No, they do DO in those colonial days. Something reporting to the Queen of England from Nigeria. So they are same thing, a licensed officer in Osun State reporting to their big boss in Lagos. In my case, I have only God as my boss and the people of Osun State. So basically, Osun State wants their own son, and Nejeji of Osun State, a grassroots man known to them, families known, parents known, father known, friends known, and all the credentials known. We don't want a stranger in our state, and that is about trust of people of Osun State. Last time I watched television, a program on channels between PDP and APC, I guess. The two people sent from APC to commissioners that are from the state. So you heard it publicly. They couldn't explain the network of Osun State. When I'm doing my tour from room to room, door to door, room to room, door to door, and word to word, Iyola doesn't understand. He doesn't even know Osun State, the size of Osun State, where we're coming from, what we are, what our culture. That's the problem he's having. That is why he can cancel schools at will. He can merge schools together at will. He can force people on uniform at will.
So you do not agree with Aregbesol's educational reforms?
Is disaster.
Really?
It's a disaster.
Is it because you don't believe in it, or you think it's not working?
That's an average of state reasoning. It's not working. Basically, it's not working. If it's working, I wouldn't have minded. If everyone has a good program, and succeeding, I'll take it up. But the education system is a disaster. In 2010, we came 14th in the NECO and WAEC. Today, we are 26th number. GME, NECO, and the JAMB, Osun was 6th, 2010. Today, we are number 28. So what is working there?
Could it mean that it's because of the teething problem of the education policies? Your disbelief in that policy is absolute.
What I'm telling you today, if it's a good policy, any government, society, and government must emulate, take on the best policies. You must learn.
The introduction of technology, the appointment, and the rest. You don't believe in it, Senator Omisore?
No, I believe in technology for development, for learning. I like that technology is for profiting. It's for business.
What do you mean?
Appointment today has 17 subjects with 87.7% errors. What do I mean, Abi? 1, take arithmetic in appointment. As an engineer, you cannot teach mathematics or arithmetic to any students, even at the PG level that we did, without a table, a graph, a diagram, histogram, paragraph. Not a single table in appointment. Not one. Not a single graph in appointment. Not a single histogram in appointment. So where do you go from there? Apparently, they made a mistake. It's been withdrawn from circulation now. Maybe you don't know. I called for it to be withdrawn. SS1, SS2, SS3, the same syllabus in appointment. It's a fact of you can go and check. That is why I called that must be called. Because I'm going to have failures, and failures. Even UNESCO that agreed to appointment, I've written them a letter. They must withdraw recognition appointment. But they are embarrassing the Osun people. But because the idea of APC government is profiting, what can we make from appointment? Not what we appointment for people. Appointment is very novel. If it's done properly. Good idea, yes. And the 8.4 billion for 150,000 tablets. Only 3,148 were in circulation before it was withdrawn. So where is the 8.4 billion now gone down the drain? Appointment is nowhere to be found. So where do you go from there?
All right, Senator Omisore, let's quickly move into some other issues, particularly the issues of your party. Let me first ask you, how close, what's your relationship with the likes of the former governor of the state in your party,
Prince Iyola? Is in our party?
Oh, it's not your party?
It's still in our party.
Oh, it's still in your party?
Yeah, he made a statement 2 weeks ago. It's in PDP.
Okay.
And it's a court on the national secretaryship. So on that note, we are still close. We are still related.
And is he working with you on this campaign?
Of course, because now is because of the court case, it's a suspension from the party. So he can't come to Rostrum now, but he can vote for us as a PDP member.
So he's working.
He's working with us naturally.
Okay,
that is it.
Interesting.
Because he has a case in court pending, and it's all you know PDP now. You know our culture. As soon as the court pronouncement, we obey.
Tell us, what was the disagreement about? Some people left your party immediately after your primaries. Obviously, they disagreed.
Nobody left. Not
Mr. Fatai Akinbade left.
He left before the primaries.
But he said he wasn't happy with what happened.
He left before the primaries. So you missed the point. Maybe who asked that question for me.
Okay. No.
So because
do you realize some people are not happy with the primaries?
I'm unaware. Because one, we had the 4 candidates, 4 aspirants for the primaries. Before and after the primaries, he just signed my forms. Everybody left before the primaries, anticipating that he may not win the primaries. And you know, and I visited him 2-3 times. Look, that this primary is a game that you're going to participate. You cannot force yourself on people now. Let us go and play this game according to the rules. Whoever emerges becomes candidates. But the fear of losing the primaries now saw him out of the party. What do we do? What can we do about that one?
Interesting. Well, just a moment. We go on a short break, and when we return, Mr. Omisore will be talking to us on how he hopes to change the fortune of a state if he is elected governor of a state in the August 9 election. Join us again.